Right now, we are here in the Philippines, and we're about 5 hours outside of Manila, kind of in the middle of nowhere. We drove through a bunch of little towns, small towns around the coast, and we ended up at these foothills in this rural community. In this place, God is changing lives by the tens of thousands and the hundreds of thousands every single year. The Philippines is unique. The population here in the greater Manila area, 70% is under the age of 25. A lot of them don't know who Jesus is. A lot of them don't know the gospel, and they're introducing them to the gospel through the camp ministry here. And about 50% of the kids who show up to camp end up making a decision to say yes to following Jesus. And the gospel is spreading, and people are receiving it as they hear this good news of what Jesus has done for them.
I was involved in a camp, the church that I grew up with. I love what's happening in the camp. I could see friends there. There was some laughter, the music and the program, everything. Being a pastor's kid, there's a lot of expectation on it. Came to my point that I just said, I think I had enough already for being involved in the church. Tried smoking, drinking, and it becomes a habit in my life. At the time, I'm dating Tricia, that's my wife. Pastor Greg starting a church at the time in Pasig. So I said to Tricia, okay, I'll help this church for 1 year. During that 1 year, he asked him the question, if God would allow you to have a resources, then he would ask you what kind of ministry that you would like to do. I just immediately told him, I want a camp. I miss camp. The camp that I grew up with, the people I see at the church, the same people I see at the camp. So I said, I want to have a camp that I can bring everyone. And I said, I wanted to have 1,000 kids on the camp. Pastor Greg asked me to dream big then. That's my dream. That's my vision. So we started to pray at that time. The first camp that we had was about 175 plus. And 50% of those got saved. And I said, that's worth it. And the second camp that we had about 500 kids. We have seen how God works. So from 500 kids, the next year that we had, we doubled the numbers, 1,000. This is that 1,000 kids that we prayed, God has gave that to us. Most of these kids, when we present the gospel, there's need in their life. Some of them, they're broken family. They're experiencing rejection. They're looking for hope. They're looking for a real joy that sometimes they look it for in other things that it just failed. The gospel that we try to present to them is a pure joy. It is a pure hope. And we want them to experience it. We want them to listen to it and understand it and accept it, because most of these kids are lost. That's the thing here. The importance of this camp is presenting the gospel in any way, through the song, to the music, even to people, just talking to them. We try to them to show the love. 2016, when Pastor Greg met with us, and he said in our meeting that we already hit 1 million campers, so we started to celebrate. We started to celebrate how God moved in hitting that number. My dream is only 1,000 campers. That's it. And then God gave more beyond our imagination.
And our question is, who's going to be the next JR? We don't know all their stories and how God's going to use them and how they're going to unfold, but we know that God is doing something big in this place and that He's just getting started.